Hi, we're Chess Club.
This is my home studio.
What does your spectator show look like now?
Should we do that again? I'm Cooper, I play drums.
I'm Griff, I play guitar and sing.
I'm David, and I play bass.
We were planning to go out to the East Coast in the summer, but obviously we couldn't do that.
Yeah, we had already started recording the record and like planning a release and trying to line it up with the tour and stuff like that.
Yeah. Had it all planned out, man. It was gonna be a really big deal for us. It was gonna be like a 2.5 week thing, maybe 3 weeks. It was definitely gonna be our longest run that we've done. But we started recording the record, we're gonna have it out in time, we were gonna have final in time, do a big release show in Lawrence, and then that kicks off the whole thing. and then 2 weeks after we had our recording sessions, it was like, oh, this thing's called coronavirus. What are you guys talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's just
I'm just excited to get back at it. It's like motivated me more than anything, or maybe appreciate it at least, more than anything. It's like, oh wow, I didn't realize how big of a deal this was for me until I couldn't do it anymore in the same capacity.
not being able to play a show during a pandemic has been pretty tricky sometimes. And even just getting to do the live session we did here, or doing the live session with KJHK, even just doing that where you're playing to 3 or 5 people at most. It's just oh, this feels like a real show again. So you still kind of get the same sort of emotional release. Band practice, you get a little bit of an emotional release, but not quite the same as a show, because you're playing for yourself, but you're also playing for the people in front of you.
Having done a lot of back work for shows all up into the future, it was definitely sad to have to cancel all of those and then do the social media to be sorry, this is not gonna happen. Everyone was being affected by COVID, so it didn't feel like a personal oh, woe is me type thing. And I think through having the board members' support, it actually ended up being really great, because you always had a different perspective of how to see the positive in all of this, what LAAND can really learn throughout this year, which I guess we didn't know then would be a year or more of just no shows.
We played that Stonefield gig, and we took about a month for just writing, and it was really good. But we, shit hit the fan, and so I think we also, in a way, kind of needed a longer break. I think we needed time away from the material. I know that so Nick and I, we've been playing together in Pale Tongue for 4 years. We're part of the original lineup, and those songs, you just get really tired of playing them. So I don't while I think that we would have gotten back to things sooner, and I'm obviously the pandemic sucks, I also do value the time that it forced us to reevaluate, at least me, to reevaluate where I was coming from with music.
I guess, not being able to play shows for sure. I didn't realize before the pandemic how much I relied on that as something that not only was it a social event for me that was like a regular thing that would happen, where I would see people, and I would see people that I wouldn't normally hang out with.
It was awful. Like I said, they're my best friends. I love them very much, and not being able to see them and only seeing my roommates at the time, it really took a toll on me.
I've been pretty sad about it. I've had to pick up a lot of different hobbies just to fill the void of not being able to do that anymore. And it's definitely I had social anxiety before, but now it's amped up by 10. And I'm super excited for shows to come back, but I'm also super scared. And it's just so sad to not have the normal every weekend go to a show type thing. Definitely miss like having kind of like a purpose in the community to like work on something, and instead I've just had to like rest basically and not contribute stuff all the time. So it's been pretty hard.
But just like how good like performing and seeing performances made me feel. It's honestly something I kind of like took for granted, unfortunately.
Dude, I just miss I miss the energy. I miss like creating with my friends, you know? And I miss like being able to like have a connection, a really intense connection with your friends for like 30 minutes where you get to share the art that you've created with them, with other people. You know, like I've played so many shows that I've grown, like you like if I could go like another year without playing a show, like at this point I'm fine, you know, because it's not necessarily about like the performance, it's about like the camaraderie and like the experience that you're having with other artists, you know, other musicians. And yeah, I guess I just miss the feeling of knowing that like someone just enjoyed my art, or I miss the feeling of being able to give my art to people and to see how they react and to, I don't know, let that cycle back in and fuel me again, you know?
A group of people there to support music, to listen to music, to enjoy their time there is kind of indescribable and a really unique moment. And so I think that without realizing it, sometimes that, you know, lack of something to look forward to and those fun moments where you just feel really connected to everyone on this wavelength of just liking the same band and just showing up for the same artist, you know, has played an effect in just everybody's energy levels day to day.
We always kind of talk about how we're like a family, but somehow even closer than that.
It was like, I don't know, very, very isolating, definitely. It just felt like something was missing. Like, I mean, I have like a very loving family and like a large family, but I'm honestly like closer with them probably. They know more about me, you know, and like they're my family too, so it was weird. You know? So since we were still able to practice and see each other, I was okay, but it was just mostly confusing. I didn't feel like I had a purpose as like a musician. It was like, okay, like what am I supposed to do now, you know? And like, that's why we were talking about like we started recording and writing more music.
Like at the end of the day, what lasts is like the impact that you have and like you being able to share your art with someone. And so that is the thing that I think keeps me going. And what I hope keeps other musicians going in this like shitty time too. I'm really impressed by like artists who are able to like churn out shit, you know, seeing singles drop in spring, like I know they were working on shit last year and it's really cool.
This album, is this the album? This album right here? I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it was kind of a goal from day one to be able to have our music on vinyl. Nothing feels better than having like a physical piece of like your art in front of you, something that you worked really hard to get. It's kind of insane.
I mean, to me, like the vinyl itself is a symbol of everything that we've like built together, and I'll keep it in my copy for the rest of my life. Yeah, so it's pretty unreal to have, you know, my friends and I's own music in my collection.
Yeah, I'm just happy that literally anybody like gives a shit about it.
Yeah,
it's like not necessarily why we all like create music, but like it's like, you know, we appreciate it because we have to have people care about it to a certain extent for us to like go out and play shows and like release things like the vinyl and able to pay for it. So it's like really, you know, I can't express how grateful we are when people do like care about it, you know.
MTV Cribs, welcome. This is my home studio. Not even like I have like a whole ass recording studio, but just like something where I can just track demos and like lay down ideas. That's been really nice and informative for me because I'm able to work with like a lot of different styles, and like I've definitely been able to find myself more as a producer by getting the space and the time to be able to work on my own stuff and kind of find my own sound, and like also realize how that translates to Pale Tongue in the future. You know, how do I want to how do I want to approach the future of this project?
Knowing like what I have now, like with like chess club and being able to perform with like having the pandemic like sort of take that away a little bit for like a period of time, definitely made me more grateful to be able to do that, because I guess I used to look at music as more as something that I do for myself, but I did realize like how essential it is and how important it is for me to be able to like go out and connect with other people too, and like express myself with other people too.
It's been rough for everybody. No matter who you are, you probably lost something during the pandemic, or you maybe have gained something, and so I think it's kind of interesting that we've been in this position where, like, I've seen a lot of other bands kind of stop because for one reason or another, and it's just great that we've been able to kind of keep going because it's been way better for my mental health that way.
I think everyone that is willing to do so and is able to do a show should definitely work on their own shit, you know? Like, it's cool, it's great to be a part of a project with awesome, talented musicians and friends, but like, you really just have to get to know yourself better as an artist by doing you know? So it's pretty cool.
It's a relief for sure that things soonish will resume to normal, but no one knows when that is going to happen exactly. Everyone has their ballpark estimate of when things will be back to normal. But it's good to see that there's like an end in sight in a way.
I'm gonna make sure all the dates are like awesome shows, you know. It's like
I can't wait. I cannot wait to tour again. It's gonna be such a good feeling. I don't know when that's gonna be. I don't know how that's gonna be.
But even when it's a drag, it'll be like, okay, at least we can actually do this.
The lack of being able to present yourself like to an audience like has made me like, I haven't lost myself per se, but sometimes I guess it feels like it's hard to imagine like what it would be like going back, you know? And this happens to like, I think a lot of people as they get older, they just kind of like, you know, they give up and they're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like work my job. I'm just gonna like do my career because like I can make money and just like forget about art. And like, that's not where I'm at, but it's hard to honestly like it's hard to combat those like feelings. Like I feel like every day, the further and further you get away from being able to do the things you love that make you, that you identify with, the more you start losing yourself in like what I think people tell you should be doing, or, you know.
I think there's a lot of ways that, you know, going back into live music, you know, just as an entire like species, I feel like we've been like humbled, you know. It's like, how do we respect each other? What are our boundaries? You know, when it's no longer 6 feet apart in masks, like now what does it look like? What makes people feel comfortable? So at community events like live music shows, it's really about like what makes everyone feel good and safe in the space that we're providing here, which LAAND really cares about, which maybe LAAND could collaborate with other, you know, members of the Lawrence music scene to really kind of create this, like, what does respect at a show look like now?
I think it's gonna take a while, but I think once we get back into it, we're gonna just go full force.
Don't stop. Yeah, like, you know, I think you just constantly need to find something, some way. Even if it's not like what you're doing, you need to find something in some capacity to be constantly furthering yourself. Like, and I know it's really hard. I know it's easier said than done, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, if it's something that you really love and really identify with, like, it will manifest itself. You won't be able to deny the burning passion to want to create content, to want to just produce. Like, it's gonna come out no matter what, you know? And like, even if you don't have the energy to nurture it fully for the day, do what you're able to do when you can, and you'll still make results. Because like, the pandemic's not gonna be around forever. I mean, COVID might, but like, music is how like we got through this. It's one thing that we used to get through. So just do as much as you can when you're able, and you can still make the magic happen. Hell yeah.